Welcome back to the Sandbox Tycoon series. In this video, I'll be showing you exactly how to implement a currency system so you can have one or more currency that you can purchase objects with. So for example, if you have an object that costs 50 cash, then you can withdraw 50 cash from your balance when that object is placed down. You don't have to exclusively have one currency, you can have more, but for the sake of simplicity, I'm just going to be showing you how to implement one currency. However, it's very easily adapted to add more currencies in the future. If you do want a tutorial on how to add more currencies in the future, I may do a separate series on where I do things that didn't quite make it into this series as an extra kind of separate series. So comment down below if you want that, or join the Discord server. So I'm going to be mentioning two things, one of which is the Discord server. So if you are enjoying the series and maybe you came across a problem or you just are kind of bored, the Discord server is a great place. You can interact with people. There are tons of people there, but we're trying to get more active people because most people aren't active right now. So yeah, we're trying to get tons of people. There's help channels. You can get development support, not just with scripting, but with all types of development, at least to the best of our ability. So there's lots of things to do. You can also just interact with the community. There's tons of channels. Yeah, it's a great place. Just join. Link will be in the description to that. Hopefully I'll see you in the server. But yeah, that's that. The second thing is that we are going to be using a pre-written script for this. Link will be in the comments section below. It will be the pinned comment under my account. So yeah, but basically this is going to be sort of, the reasoning is the same as 2 videos ago when I did the serialization system or saving system for the Tycoon, where we're not really going to be scripting the data store itself. We're just going to be scripting the data that needs to be saved. So yeah, pretty much that is that. The code will be in the comments section below. It will be the pinned comment, so meaning it'll be the first or second comment depending on if there's a highlighted comment or not. Without further ado, let's just get right into the video. So the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to create a int value or number value. Int value if you don't want to use decimals, so if you don't want to have like one being like 500.50 cash, yeah, but just if you want that, then you want to use number values. Number values can have decimal places, whereas int values do not. So I'm going to be using an int value for this, and you're going to want to just call this price or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't have to be called price. I recommend using this because it's basically what it is. And make sure you put it in the primary part of that model. So if we go to properties here, you can see that the primary part here is hitbox, meaning it's this object here. So you can access primary parts by saying whatever the model is dot primary part. So that means that you'll be able to access this value very easily. So anything you want to access very easily, just put in the primary part of that model and it should work fine. Next, we are just going to go into the leaderstats script. I just call it leaderstats, but you can call it whatever you want. Make sure you paste the code in, and we're just going to get started scripting. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new function. So local function, we're going to call this create leader stats. Give it PLR, and then we're going to add create leader stats to our player added event, and then we're going to say serialize for our player removing event. In create leader stats, we are going to create 2 variables, one for leader stats so instance.new int value, or nope, folder I mean. Then we are going to call this leader stats.name leader stats. You should already know how to create leader stats. Get rid of the local. Then we're going to set the parent, so leader stats parent to PLR. And for our second variable, I'm going to be creating a currency called cash. You can call it whatever you want, but for the sake of this video, I'm just calling it cash, but you can call it gold, diamonds, gems, etc. So we can set this to instance.new, and this is going to be an int value. So here we go. And then we can say cash.name is equal to whatever we want it to be called. So in this case, I'm just going to be saying cash. This is also the name that will be displayed on the leaderboard. But I guess that's if you want it to be displayed on the leaderboard. If you don't want it to be displayed on the leaderboard, you don't have to use leader stats. You can just put this object, the cash value, in the player instead of putting it in leader stats. So then we can say cash dot parent, for this case, leader stats. However, just keep in mind this will be on the leaderboard, so keep that in mind. If you don't want to show the currency, some games don't, then you can put this just in the player, and that works as well. So before we move on, I'm just going to actually go up here into the serialize function, and we're going to save the data first. So we're going to input our data, basically, yeah. So if you notice, we called this cash, and its parent is leader stats. So pretty much, oh, and I forgot to put an equal sign there. So make sure you did that. But yeah, basically we embedded that in leader stats and leader stats within the player. So when we go to save data, in this data equals a table / array, we can basically just input that in. So we can say plr.leaderstats.cash.value. So that's basically it. Then we can come down here, and now we know what's being saved. So if we know how to index tables, it's literally by doing that. That will give us the first value. Then we can basically say we need to, well, first off, we need to get our data. So we can do that by returning or setting a value to whatever this deserialize function is equal to. So as you can see, it's returning data. And what we can do is we can say local data or save data or whatever you want to call it. We're going to say that that is equal to deserialize plr. And then all we can do is we can say that cash.value is equal to data 1. And basically, this is going to index that first value, because this is the same thing as if we had in our, let's see, plot data manager or Tycoon data manager. This is the same thing as when we say saved.transform.x. It's just, in this case, we are not using a dictionary, we're just using a normal table. So we can index it using numbers. This is going to be the first value. If we had multiple currencies, say we had like a currency, another currency, cash.value 2 or something like that. I don't know. That's not how it would be, but you just add on another pair or another value, not pair, and say 2. But in our case, we only have 1, so we're going to do 1. Okay, so basically that is all we have to do, although I'm going to be doing one more thing. So typically in games, you don't just start off with 0 cash, you start off with a starter cash value. So I'm going to do that. Local starter currency is equal to, I'm going to do like 10,000 or something. That works fine. And in here, when we say if our data has been loaded, so if data is true, then we're going to say data to true, data loaded to true, and we're going to return that data. However, if we don't have anything saved, then we can just return an empty array that just happens to have our starter currency variable as a value. So now, if we don't have anything saved, it's just going to default to this starter currency value. And that's literally all we have to do. Now if we hit play, you can now see that we have 10,000 cash. Okay, so we've done that, but we still have a problem. Our problem is that we still, when we purchase objects or place them down, it still doesn't take any money away. So how do we do that? Well, basically, in server placement, we can basically just come in here, and before we set the parent, we can basically just come in here, tab this out, and we can basically say that if plr.leaderstats.cash.value is greater or equal to item, our item is right here, this is going to be equal to our object. So item dot primary part dot price dot value. So that's just going to be this value right here. And then we can say then, and then we can say else, because if we don't have enough. So then all we're going to do is we're just going to say item destroy return false. But we can actually I'm just going to copy this. If we do have enough cash, if it's greater or equal to the price value, then all we can do is we can say so plr.leaderstats.cash.value is equal to plr.leaderstats.cash.value subtract item.primaryPart.price.value. And then we can just copy this line. So basically this is if we have enough, or this is if we are colliding, this is if we have enough. So if we are colliding, this is if we have collisions turned on, and this is if we have collisions turned off. So we need to do the same exact thing here. And yeah, basically that's that. So now whenever we buy an object, it should work perfectly fine. So let's just go ahead and test this out. And actually I forgot to say, you actually have to set this price value. So for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to do like 100. So we know what that's going to be. But yeah, let's just go, now we can go test this out. Okay, so we have 10,000 cash, we place down an object, and it subtracts 100 every time. So now, yeah, pretty much that's literally it. So, and obviously our saving system works. Let's just make sure our cash saving system works. Okay, I just misspelled something in here, so that's that. But I think everything else should work. I was wondering why it didn't work, but I just misspelled it. So, okay, so let's test this again. We have 10,000, then it takes down enough per item bought. So now we have 9,500. If we exit out, everything looks fine so far. And as you can see, we have 9,500. So that's basically that. Yeah, I'm just going to go over the code one more time, and then we can basically end the tutorial. Okay, so first off, we have to actually create our leader stats. This is pretty self-explanatory. If you don't know how to create leader stats, then you should go definitely learn how to do that before coming to this tutorial. But anyway, we create our leader stats, then we have to get our data, so we deserialize it, and then we have to set that to whatever our saved value is. Of course, we have to save it up here, so we have to save it. And we also have to make sure that we give our player a starter value that can be easily manipulated. You can just literally change this value. So now it's 100,000. I'm just going to leave it at 10,000 if we don't have any data saved. So if the player has more or equal to the amount that the price is, then we are basically just going to let them do that. And then whenever we place down an object, whenever we put it down, we are basically just going to take that value away, even if we're colliding. So this is if we are colliding, and this is when we're not colliding. So this is basically in the placement module. If we have collisions turned true, then it'll run this code. And if we have it set to false, then it will run this code. So that's basically that. But both times we do withdraw the correct amount. And that's literally it. So hopefully this did help you, and yeah, so that's basically it. Join the Discord server, link will be in the description, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.